Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking on Capnclydes MTG. I am interrupting your Doctor Who box opening series with the latest of news as Fallout Commander decks for Universes Beyond and cards that are inside have been leaked. Or actually revealed. Call it what you will. It's on the Wizards website if you really want to go take a look. But we get a first look at what Fallout is going to offer the game from Universes Beyond. So, before we get started, don't forget comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Comments down below are going to feed that YouTube algorithm. Links in the description to the eBay store TCG player. That helps support the channel. Go buy a few cards. Also Patreon if you want to go that route. And don't forget the poor man's way. Subscribe and like. I'm on YouTube, where you're probably watching this, and Rumble. So go check us out over there if you're into Rumble. So, without further ado, let's get into some Fallout. Pip boy! So, our first commander deck we're going to go over is Science, which is red, white, and blue, America. So, Dr. Madison Lee is a red, white, blue commander, 2/3 with energy. Whenever you cast an energy spell, you get one. Whenever you cast an artifact, you get one energy. Tap it, tap her, pay one energy. Your creatures get +1/+0, trample, and haste in a turn. Okay. Tap, pay 3 energy, draw a card. Woo, now we're getting to the busted range. Tap, pay 5 energy, return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Ooh, boy. I see people trying to make energy decks now. Also with her, we have Rex, the Cyberhound, one of the goodest boys. A legendary artifact creature, robot dog, so he can be your commander. Blue, white, and 1 for a 2/2. When he deals combat damage to a player, they mill 2 cards, you get 2 energy. Seems on point. Pay 2 energy, choose target creature card in your graveyard, exile it with a brain counter on it, activate only as a sorcery. Rex has all activated abilities of all cards in exile with brain counters on them. Not only is he the goodest of boys, but he will be all the boys. So this is a really good card for white and blue, especially if you just want to make it your commander. So this commander deck looks prime. Next we have, that's right, Hail Caesar. So we have Caesar, Legion's Emperor. It's a black, white, red commander deck. The commander is black, white, red, and 1 for a 4/4. Whenever you attack, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, you get to choose 2. Create 2 1/1 red, white soldier tokens with haste, tapped, and attacking. Good way to multiply the field. Draw a card, lose a life. Also good. And Emperor deals damage equal to the number of creature tokens you control to target opponent. You get 2 of those, guys. Remember that. This commander looks bomb. Next we have Gary Clone. There should be a "the" in there. Gary the Clone. Anyway, white 1 for 1/3. He has squad 2. Squad means by paying the squad cost. Every time you pay the squad cost, you get another copy of the creature. So if you pay 4 mana, you get 2 Gary Clones, which are both 1/3s that have. Whenever Gary Clone attacks, each creature you control named Gary Clone gets +1/+0 in a turn. Gary. Anyway. This is no Rex by any stretch of the imagination. We'll have to see what's in the rest of the deck, but this one, not impressed. But still, this guy is very powerful, so it could be a good commander deck. So, moving on. The next one we have is the old mutant menace itself, the Wise Mothman. It is a blue-green-black commander deck. The Mothman itself is blue-green-black and 1 for a 3/3 flyer. Whenever the Wise Mothman enters the battlefield or attacks, each player gets a rad counter, as in radiation. Whenever 1 or more non-land cards are milled, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to X target creatures, where X is the number of non-land cards milled this way. Whew, boy, that's a lot to take in. Anyway, next we have the Feral Ghoul, black and 2 for a 2/2 with Menace. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Feral Ghoul. Good start. And when Feral Ghoul dies, each opponent gets a number of rad counters equal to its power. That is a good card. And then finally, what is rad? It's radiation. So at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, if you have any rad counters, mill that many cards. For each non-land card milled this way, you lose a life and a rad counter. So sometimes you mill, maybe you won't have a rad counter sometimes. So it's very interesting to see how it's fit into mill mechanics throughout the format of Commander. But this is a cool mechanic where you don't have to worry about being milled consistently. However, I got a feeling the deck's going to make sure that you get milled consistently. So, moving on to our last commander deck. And that's right, it's Dogmeat, the best of boys, Thank God he got his own commander deck. I'd be so mad if he didn't. So he's on Scrappy Survivors. He's white, green, and red. And Dogmeat is a white, green, red for a 3/3. When he enters the battlefield, mill 5 cards. Return an aura or equipment card from your graveyard to your hand. And whenever a creature you control that's enchanted or equipped attacks, create a junk token. You can see here, junk tokens let you sacrifice the junk. That just sounds funny. Anyway, exile top card of your library. You may play the card this turn, only usable as a sorcery. So pseudo draw spells with good old Dogmeat. I like it. Depending how the rest of the deck is. I mean, Dogmeat himself seems very powerful with his abilities. But there could be other good stuff inside this deck. As of right now, they all look very strong and powerful in their own ways. But with all that said, let's move on to what else is coming out inside of Fallout. Fallout. Anyway, we have Pip-Boy cards. That's right, the showcase cards for Fallout are going to be Pip-Boy cards. You can see here, this is Dogmeat, the Wise Mothman, Caesar, and Dr. Madison. This looks like Pip-Boy art. This is very cool. If you're into this kind of stuff, this is definitely up your alley, and I do approve. What are they going to be worth? I don't know. It's really going to be more of a nostalgia thing, and really how much you want to lean into the whole Pip-Boy thing. So also in here, we're going to have this beauties. We have Borderless Vault Boy cards. You can see here we have the Arcade Signet, which is a Pip-Boy. We have Crucible of Worlds. Funny. We have Soul Ring and Wasteland is going to be in this set. These are already 4 powerhouses, especially these two. Soul Ring's in every set, so's Arcane Signet. But the art is phenomenal. And I gotta admit, the Borderless Vault Boy cards do look pretty sweet and are definitely on point for Fallout. So, next we have, obviously, extended art. We have Rex, the Best of Boys, and the Feral Ghoul extended art cards. We knew that was happening. Those are pretty much in every set. We also have our full art lands, which I love these full art lands. Have we mentioned yet that the set symbol is a little smiley face from Nuke? Anyway, we have the forest with Dogmeat, love it. We have a little refuge here. That's the forest one. We start looking in further. We get a mountain. We can see the body armor, the power armor with Dogmeat, and then we get this one over here with looks like monsters. Moving on, next we have, for the swamp, we have Dogmeat along with another, well, not really power armor, more of a diving set. And then this one here, the more of a monster scene inside the city. And then we have the islands with good old Dogmeat. And then this one here, I mean, it's kind of an island. It's more like a watery cove. Anyway, point being. Both very cool. All the land looks really sweet, I'm not going to lie. Even the planes, like I'm down with this. This is probably one of the coolest planes that I think I've seen. Although, you could have slid Dogmeat in there. Just saying. That didn't sound right. Anyway, and then the train station. I mean, I don't really see it, but I can kind of see it. Does that make sense? Let's not get into it. So, those are the full art lands. They're very sweet. I do like them. So, what else does this have to offer? Well, we have this. They have bobbleheads that are going to get serialized treatment with 7 cards featuring serialization on 500 copies each. Serialized bobbleheads feature the double rainbow foil treatment. So here's an example here. This is the Intelligence bobblehead, 3 colorless, add a mana. It's a great mana rock. For 5, draw X cards where X is the number of bobbleheads you control. So if you've got like 5 bobbleheads, 5 mana to tap, draw 5 cards. If every bobblehead says that, jeez. But we'll have to wait and see what the bobbleheads are before we actually see how powerful a card this is. But just on the face, a 3 colorless mana rock of any color with the ability to draw is already pretty sweet. Maybe not enough to get into most decks, but if the bobbleheads all do something different, and depending how powerful they are, it could definitely become a main theme in most commander decks. So, we have serialization, we have bobbleheads. What else do we have? We have a couple card previews. We have the new Command Tower. Gotta admit, I like the art. We have an Alpha Deathclaw, black, green, 4 colorless for a 6/6 Menace Trample Lizard Mutant. What a word. When Alpha Deathclaw enters the battlefield or becomes monstrous, you destroy target permanent. Monstrous for 7. So you lay it on 6, monster it for 7. When you monstrous it for 7, it becomes a 10/10 Trample Menace Manample? Manache? Mananample? Anyway. So this is a great card with lots of value. Destroy when it comes in. Destroy on the next turn if you want. Anti-permanent is very good. Next we have the VATS card. So VATS. Vault Tech Assistant Targeting. So 2 black and 2. You get an instant with split second. Haven't had that on something in a while. Choose any number of target creatures with equal toughness. Destroy the chosen creatures. So if you have a whole bunch of creatures that are 2/2s, this can be a one-sided wrath. Because if you have 2/2s, your opponent has 2/2s, you just pick which 2/2s you want to die. So this, I think, is going to be a very popular removal card. Especially with split second, it can't be countered. You get to choose what creatures get hit, so you can avoid your own. It's only 4 mana. It is an instant. This, I think, should have been a mythic, and I think we'll see lots of play. So some other sweet cards we get a chance to look at. We get Over Encumbered. Imagine that. White and 1 each enchanted opponent. When Over Encumbered enters the battlefield, enchanted opponent creates a clue token, food token, and a junk token. At the beginning of combat on enchanted player's turn, that player may pay 1 colorless for each artifact they control. If they don't, creatures can't attack this combat. Interesting. We have the old Nuke Cola vending machine, 3 colorless artifact that says, for 1 and tap, create a food token. That's it. And whenever you sacrifice a food, create a tapped treasure token. So this is almost a mana rock, kind of, sort of. Very interesting and very cool. You get a treasure token because you get the bottle cap. I'm not going to get into it. Anyway, moving on. Next for blue, we have Radstorm. Blue and 3. This is a spell that has Storm, and it does proliferate. So what does that mean? So if you've cast 4 spells before this one, or 4 spells have been cast, you can then cast this as an instant to proliferate 5 times. Because you proliferate once with this spell, it makes 4 copies of itself, and every one of them lets you proliferate. In a commander deck where spells could jump off nappy left and right, this can get ugly quick. So this looks like to be possibly a popular card, depending on what kind of deck you're playing. If you're into proliferate, this is your jam right here. So, with all that said, we also have Mr. House, President and CEO. He is a white, black, and red legendary artifact creature human, so he can be a commander. He's an 0/4. Whenever you roll a 4 or higher, create a 3/3 colorless robot artifact creature token. If you roll a 6 or higher, instead create that token and a treasure. 4 colorless, tap. Roll a 6-sided dice plus an additional 6-sided die for each mana from treasures spent to activate this ability. So, I know people don't like rolling dice, but this could be very good inside a Dungeons and Dragons deck where you get to roll die 20s, and you're going to get a 6-side. You're going to get higher than 6 probably. So, interesting that they would make something that correlates with that. Next we have Vault 101 Birthday Party. White and 3 for a rare saga. It has 3 sagas. The first saga, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token and a food. For 2 and 3, you may put an aura or equipment card from your hand or graveyard onto the battlefield. If an equipment is put onto the battlefield this way, you may attach it to a creature you control. This seems very powerful for many reasons. You can pull a pacifism out of your graveyard. You can pull equipment out of your graveyard. You can cycle it away on purpose. This has lots going for it, especially in white. Especially when you have equipment creatures. So, yeah. This looks powerful as well. So, with all that said, when will we actually see this stuff? Well, Fallout's going to start, debut and previews will begin February 20th, which is only 4 months away. October, November, December, January, 4 months, whatever. It's 4 months to the date. That's a long way. Global release, though, won't be till March 8th, and there'll be a Commander launch party March 8th through the 10th of 2024. So, we got a while to go, but it's a nice little teasy taste. So, what else does that mean? Well, it looks like they've also went the route of Doctor Who, where you'll get Commander decks and collector boosters only, where you can get all them sweet cards I just showed you outside of the Commander deck. Doctor Who seems to be doing well because of it. It looks like Fallout's going to follow in its place. 241 currently is a pre-order in Amazon. We'll have to wait and see what this means. And I'm sure you probably guessed this was coming out when you see serialized cards, all the extra treatment and borders. Probably could put it further up in a video, but hey, what fun would that be if I took all the surprise away, right? So, 241 for the collector boosters. I mean, I guess it's okay. We'll just say that, I guess. But there you have it. There's all the information we have for the Fallout brand coming to Magic the Gathering and what they've got so far. Stay tuned for more spoilers and leaks, or any information for that matter inside of Magic about anything on the channel. So I appreciate it. Don't forget, comment, subscribe, like. Let's have that 1,000 subscription party. And until next time, be kind. And I hope to see you across from the game table. Unless you got rad counters. Keep your radiation to yourself. Ooh. Mothman.